Good morning, traders. Oh, that's a little weird. All right, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing here? Let me pull that, fix this. Alrighty, awesome stuff. Good morning, everybody. Thanks again for tuning into the stream as always. Yes, I hope we do get this money today. You're absolutely right. Devin, I don't know, personally. I haven't looked at solo in a while, but I could look at solo. Give me a second here. Oh, it's not a pen. Oh, that's funny. All right, so anyways, I could look at solo this morning. Just give me a second. Wow, my life is just not in order. None of my pens work. What is this? Jeez. Perfect. There we go. All right. So I got two stocks that so far really been watching. So Roku, I've been paying attention to for a while, and then CVS is an earnings play today. Haven't really done too much other than really focusing deeply on those two. I've also looked at Cron. I'm kind of neutral on Cron, so just going to go over CVS and Roku for the day and then whatever else you guys ask about. But those are probably where I'm going to focus most of my attention, unless something else happens throughout the day that grabs my attention. You guys know the deal. So, let's see. Top of the morning. All right. Let's see. Okay, cool. So nothing new here. All right, so we're going to start here with CVS. So if you guys aren't familiar yet, CVS had a really big down drop so far pre-market. They had an earnings report. I think they missed the EPS or missed the streets. Anyways, they missed, right? They're not doing so hot on their earnings, to basically make it simple. So you had this really big gap down, stocks running down, and I like it because of the volatility. It's moved from almost $70 down to $64. So it's moved $7 a share today. That's creating a big range, big gap in the chart. So it's got range and it could have volatility when it picks up. I can't remember how CVS typically trades on an earnings day. I can't remember if it's kind of a choppy trader or if it trades good. It's been a long time. I can't remember the last time I traded an earnings report from CVS. So I'm not familiar with how the flow usually is. Every once in a while we'll get these earnings reports from some companies and then they kind of just don't do anything. They kind of like chop around. So I'm hoping that's not the case today, but if it is, it is what it is, right? So I'm going to be watching CVS today. It has if you go to you could do a yearly chart or you could do a 4-hour, 4-hour chart. You'll see that it has a 52-week low here at 62, and then it has some previous bouncing going on here around 63. We just broke 64, so I would imagine that we're probably going to push lower. We might push lower pre-market towards the 63 area. But I don't think I'm going to short CVS today, right? Most people are seeing this massive drop and they're thinking, oh, probably short CVS. And so I'm most likely not going to be shorting CVS. I might, okay, it depends on how it trades, but you guys remember the stock UNIT yesterday? That was the one that I did the recap on. That's the one that I traded for the most part yesterday. You see that one was down, big time pre-market. It was down like 50%, and everyone's like, oh, we should be shorting. I'm like, probably not. You should probably be long on that. This is that same kind of feel I think we might be getting here with CVS. I would anticipate that out of the gates, it's probably going to bounce because of this big drop. And then we might have like a retracement and then another short play. So we do have some 52-week low in support right here at about 63, 62. So I don't think we're going to break that on the day. If we do, okay. If we don't, okay. So I just don't think we're going to break that 52-week low here on this move on the day. So going to be following CVS closely. And like I said, I am not going to be shorting CVS at open because it's already down really big. So I would want to wait for some type of retracement move where we see CVS bounce, You know, maybe up towards some of these levels up here, right at about 65 would be a good one, you know. So just marking off these key levels that if it were to bounce up and retrace to, I might be willing to get in short, all right? And if this thing just keeps crashing pre-market all the way down towards the 52-week low, then I'll probably be looking at longing the stock out of the gates, okay? So again, you have support down at 63 and 62. Basically anywhere from 63 to 62 you have support. So I'll be watching for some type of bouncing here on CVS. All right, gold. Somebody asked me about gold, said gold was up, and I said no, I wasn't trading gold. Let me just take a look. Yeah, gold's up to 127. Well, at least this one that I follow. So let's see. I mean, I can't say we didn't say to pay attention to gold months ago. I did specifically say that. Watch gold. I've been saying watch gold and silver for a year now, and we're starting to pick up in the gold market and the silver market. How's silver doing, honestly? That's a good question. Silver, not bad. Okay, still at resistance. But anyways, yeah, looks like gold and silver's picking up. Jane hike to the moon. So if you're asking about UNIT, we are kind of keeping an eye on for possible continuation to the upside since it gapped down so big. I think there is some room that it could gain back to the upside after yesterday's gap down. 1 second. You know, it's just kind of hanging out pre-market. But when you look at this yearly chart, I mean, look at that. That's a major gap down, getting bought up. So there's a lot of room that this could shoot up. So we are following UNIT, you know, a little bit to see if it does kind of reverse and start going green on the day. No BRT hoodie today. No BRT hoodie. Oh, wait. I'm reading some. I don't know anything about Cody. I seen them on the scanner today, but I don't know anything about the company, so I couldn't really give much info there. Abdul, no, I don't really do much swing trading. I mean, like I can, but I really don't because I can just day trade. So, you know, every once in a while I'll do some swing trading, but for the most part, I really stick to day trading. And I'm pretty busy, so it's just another thing that I'd have to incorporate that I don't specifically have the time for. Yeah, so I don't have a swing trading list. Never used Fidelity, so I couldn't tell you that. PCG. Awesome. I'm glad that you're subscribed. Appreciate that. I mean, yeah, there is a hybrid swing. I would guess I would call myself a hybrid because I can do options trading, swing trading, day trading, short selling. So I would say I'm a hybrid trader then. Yep, to the point. Yeah, so yesterday's video was pretty cool. We're going to do, I think, a video, I don't think today, maybe Thursday, but do a video of like the reasons why you'd actually want to be a day trader and try and keep it as real as possible. I think what we're going to do on Thursday is I'm going to do a video showing you what my actual day looks like, kind of behind the scenes, rather than just seeing me on a camera. I'm going to walk you through what my day looks like from when I wake up, work with our private group, come onto YouTube, do the trading, then the rest of the day schedule from like basically what I do on a daily basis. All right, so we covered CVS. Let's go to the next one, which is Roku. So by the way, if any of you guys went long on Roku yesterday, congratulations. That ended up being a great trader on the day. Secondly, you look at this daily chart. All right, we had a 52-week high of 77. We crashed to 26. We bounced from 26 up to 55, and that fills this gap right there. So I'm going to be following Roku, most likely short bias over the next couple days, 2 weeks. I don't know if we're going to kick into the move down today, but I think we're definitely getting there because Roku jumped from 26 to 55 over the course of the last 2 months. So it's already up more than 50%, right? It should be up more than 50% over the past like 2 months. All right, let me just double check. Yeah, it's it's up 112 it's up 112% over the past 2 months. So that's really big. For a stock to gain 112% over the 2-3 months, it's probably got a big downward move brewing, right? Coming soon. So we just filled this gap on the daily chart, which is right there. You can see it. I mean, the last earnings play had this gap down. We just filled that gap. Fun fact for you guys to take with you if you're newer, 90% of all gaps created in stock charts will be filled at some point or another in the future. Remember that. 90% of all gaps created in a stock chart will be filled at some point in the future. Timeline? I don't know, but it's a fact. 90% of the gaps in a chart get filled, which means if you ever see a really big gap down in a chart, that means in the future at some point, that stock price will most likely go back and fill that gap. And the reason it does that is because gap downs and gap ups are seen as, you can call them almost like inconsistencies, where that's not really a consistent, it's not not sustainable. You know, that was usually when something gaps up or gaps down, it's typically an extremely volatile move based off of some type of news or whatever the case may be. And that's not very consistent. So whenever you do get a gap in the chart, the market likes to fill that gap so that it just is what it is. It just likes to fill the gap. So it's like an inconsistency in the chart that at some point in the future will be filled to kind of complete back to the flow, which that stock should be. All right, SHMP, yep, that is the OTC stock that I am not trading. I mean, I probably could trade and make money, but again, the OTC market is not typically what I trade. And SHMP, I know, is just some probably pump and dump thing, and so I'm just not even going to get involved with it. You know, if you want to check out SHMP, it's an OTC stock that recently has been going crazy, probably up like 20,000% or 10,000% or something nuts. So if you want to focus on that, trade it. It's SHMP. I myself, I won't focus on that. How do you search stocks with low float on FinViz? FinViz does not give you a scanning option for float, so you really can't do that. But your best bet is most likely to scan for, they don't do float, do they? They might on their advanced scanner, which I've never used, but from their free version, you're most likely going to want to scan for, just scan for low price stocks. Generally speaking, if you scan for anything below like $5, majority of that list will be low float, and then you can kind of just go through and wash out the ones that don't meet your criteria. But most of the time, you're going to have to pay for a scanner that gives you relevant real-time float data. Because why do you think that is? Why do you think you can't get the float option as a free option in most any scanners? Why do you think that's the case? I'll tell you why. Because most retail traders that trade are trading penny stocks, and the number one thing you're looking for in a penny stock when you're a day trader and you're looking for fast moving volatility is you're looking for a stock with a low float, or you want to know the float in real time. The float in real time is very important to understand how volatile a stock could be. So if a business knows that most of the retail day traders want a good scanner that alerts them of real-time float, they're going to make that an option you have to pay for, knowing that is one of the most important criteria you need as one of a penny stock day trader. So it's kind of one of those things where like, well, they can't really live without it, or some can, right? So that's a service they're going to make you charge for, right? You can go and find volume on any stock anywhere. Like, that's pretty much irrelevant. They can't really get away with charging you for that, but they can get away with charging you for float because they know that's an important characteristic to a penny stock that most retail traders need, and most retail traders trade penny stocks, and that's why you get charged for it. I actually don't have any stickers. We were thinking about getting some stickers. I don't have any stickers. So, let's see. All right, I'll take a look at SOLO here. Give me just a second. look at something here real fast. By the way, this is KNDI. Candy Technologies is shot up from $5.99 to $8, so 2-point jump here this morning. Not bad. Might want to focus on that. Oh, SOLO. That's what we're looking at. SOLO. So up to 515? Really? What happened this time? Oh, no, it hasn't done anything. When did this happen? Really? I feel like I'm... What? I feel like I don't remember seeing this at all. What? Huh. Oh no, this is that one that just started ripping the other day. I remember this. Oh yeah, if you're asking about long on SOLO, no, you should be short bias on SOLO, most likely. Yeah, the only time you're going to want to get long on SOLO, possibly, let's see. Did it already drop to that level? Yeah, kind of. Honestly, yeah, you don't even want to get long on this. You just want to let this fall back down to earth. This is basically turning into a big short play, most likely. So if you're considering getting long on SOLO, I would think otherwise. It's not a good play to be long right now. Nope, I really don't trade other markets than the stock market. No. So I've debated doing Forex trading. I could do Forex trading. I could do future. I could do any trading I want to do. I really could. Why? Because all you got to do is learn how to do it. And I already know how to trade. So going into one of these markets, the only thing I have to learn is just the pairs for Forex. And then the only thing I have to learn for futures is really how the futures contracts are calculated and how you purchase. So I just have to learn some basic things about that industry, but other than that, the charts are the same, patterns are the same, technical analysis is the same. It's all the same. The only thing that would really change if you're trading Forex is you'd want to be more up to date on global economic policy and, you know, political news events around the world globally in terms of foreign exchange currency trading. But I mean, that's the only thing I really see changes. Netflix, yeah, I'll cover Netflix. I do like that. Crude oil, how do I feel about crude? Crude's the same, baby. I've been saying this for weeks. Crude's along. I'm not long on crude anymore. I was long crude. Well, I was long an oil ETF at like 7, wrote it up to like 13 or something like that. But, excuse me, I'm a little tired this morning. But yeah, I think crude's still along. I think there's still a lot of way crude could go up. But yeah, I think that's a good option. Yeah, good books. Read Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Read Intelligent Investor. How to Day Trade by Andrew Aziz. How to Become the Best Day Trader in the World by Boiler Room Trading and Connor Polifrone. Get it on Amazon. It's only $100 a book. It's a great deal. All right, I'm kidding. I don't have a book. I should write a book, though. That'd be fun. But I probably shouldn't because I'd probably be terrible at writing a book. We will call the book The Life of Boats and Strippers. Yeah, Life of Boats and Strippers. I like that one. All right, so what I eat for breakfast, I had 2 eggs, diced mushrooms, green peppers, onions, and 1 sausage patty, a cup of coffee, and 2 glasses of water. And I forgot to take my vitamins today. All right, so let's take a look at Netflix here. This will be the last one. I've been following Netflix, so that's why I'm kind of quick to want to look at this one. I've been following Netflix, right? And it's turning into a short play. There's a big short coming on it. There's got to be. I'm going to say it right now, and if I'm wrong, guess what? I don't care. But it's kind of, I think Netflix is heading to a big short play or a big down move. You don't even have to call it a short play. You can say, I think it's coming to a good sell-off, nice pullback. All right. And why would I say that? Because this thing has been, trying to break out for multiple days. All right. Ready? So here was one day it tried to break out, failed. Well, here it tried to break out, failed, but it should have failed there because that was the first attempt at the previous high. Then we had one attempt here, fail. Another attempt there, fail. Another attempt there, fail. Another attempt there, fail. Another attempt, not even really breaking out, just over kind of some level. So it's still grinding up, but it's not really getting you that breakout move you want, which could still come. It could still come, right? And then when you look at the market, right, you got to think about the market too. The market's up pretty high from obviously where we were in that big drop, and we still haven't even really had a retracement move back down because probably the market's being manipulated right now, which would make total sense. And don't think that the market doesn't get manipulated. It does. The goal of the market's to take all of your money and make you lose every single day, and that's how the banks make their money. Do note that is exactly what they're doing. The banks want you to lose all of your money trading so that they can take it and put it in their pocket. So if you think that the market isn't manipulated in one way or the other, guess again. It is. So with Netflix being up where it's at, we know that it's into a seller's location. We know that this thing's been trying to break out for a few days. It could still break out, but we know it struggled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, arguably 6 times. And if this thing does not break up soon and or fast, what's going to happen? Well, I know what's going to happen. You might not, but this is what's going to happen. It's probably going to turn into an ascending wedge pattern like so. So if Netflix doesn't break out soon, it performs an ascending wedge pattern, which, by the way, has a really aggressive bearish move and drop when it breaks the wedge pattern to the downside. So this will channel up and then kaboom! And I'll be right there to short it. So that's what I'm waiting on right now with Netflix. I'm just being patient. I'm not really trying to swing on this right now. I'm more or less getting ready to position myself for a short play on Netflix. And that's where I'm at with Netflix. I think Netflix at this, if it stays on this current path and trajectory, it's going to channel into an ascending wedge pattern, which then usually will break to the downside. Because the only reason things go to an ascending wedge pattern is because they never actually break out from the initial pattern, right? And the initial pattern here, okay, guys, the initial pattern is an ascending triangle flat top breakout, right? Ascending triangle flat top breakout. It's not breaking out. It just keeps grinding. So then that creates the wedge, okay? So that's all I have for you guys here on Netflix, right? So, again, thanks guys again for tuning in. I know the lighting in here might be a little weird. Again, I'm not some videographer. I don't really know how this lighting thing works. And every once in a while, when I think I got it good, I end up doing something and messing it all up. So, if any of you guys see this and you guys are like really into shooting videos, you know a lot about editing, you know a lot about lighting, honestly, I would love for one of you guys to reach out to me if you want to give me some tips along the way. I appreciate it. Because I can just never seem to get all this other stuff down the way I want. But anyways, with that being said, thanks again for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thumbs up the video, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, of course. And then I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another watch list, and then I'll recap some trades for today for you. And other than that, stay green, guys.